What's up, guys? Welcome to the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in a conservative way. What's going on, guys? Hope y'all having a great week. It's Friday. I know y'all ready for the weekend, baby. I know I am. I'm ready. I'm ready to take my first steps to do something, man. Do a little grilling this weekend. But today, man, as I sit out and look at the sky, I'm going to give y'all a little bit from a king's eye view. Y'all stay tuned. All right, what's going on, guys? Hope y'all having a great weekend. Well, hold on. What is today? Friday. Oh, man. Hope you had a great week. Look, the week was a blur. The week go by so fast. The weekend even faster. You just like, can I get to the next weekend? I see people, my homies, some people I know, it'd be Saturday. They be like, man, I can't wait the next weekend. What? Let's enjoy today. All right, guys. Look, we're going to get right to it today. We're going to talk about the king's eye view. Since I'm one of the kings in this view, and I know y'all kings, and y'all got kings around you. Some of y'all probably like, oh, God, kings. I don't even know any. But I know some of y'all got kings around you. And if you don't, you're talking to one, all right? And you're like, man, how you going to call yourself a king? Because I work hard. I'm a warrior. The men around me are warriors, real men, doing real things. Now, they flawed. I know ladies rolling their eyes. I know they flawed. Everybody got issues. But they hanging in there. They doing the best they can. I know y'all like some mistakes they made unredeemable. That's a lie. You can be redeemed if you make mistakes in relationships, in your life. Kings make bad decisions all the time. It's the resiliency of the king is why he's still the king. It's his having that fortitude, having the kahunas to make the decisions, not afraid. I tell anybody want to make a decision, only bad choice is not to make one. You're going to land on bad choices every now and then from a king's view. You're going to land on bad choices. It's just a part of life. But it's what you do to rebound from those decisions when you don't go into the hole like a turtle or live underground for the next 10 years because you done made some horrible decisions, but you can bounce back. And then it is the other knights of the table, the other kings on the round table to help lift you up when you're down. So many people leave this life in a tragic way. You got suicide and all these things. I know for a man, as a king and a man, trying to do both, only a man can be a king, first and foremost. Let me just start with that. That's the first criteria. No woman can be a king, only a man. And most women know that. Not all. Most people understand that. But only men can be in this category and understand how to carry this weight. That's why I'm wearing this hat on my head today, this cowboy hat. You know, it's not heavy, it's comfortable, but you got to have your crown. You got to understand the meaning of why you're here. You got to understand the importance of your position. You know, you look at all the kings in history, and once again, they're all flawed. But those who took it seriously end up doing amazing things, help progress to where we are today. And even in their mistakes, they help us think about decisions we make today. One of the greatest kings of history, King David in the Bible, made a ton of mistakes. But one thing that he never lacked was his faith, his conviction, and guess what? His passion. Oh, he had a lot of passion. He had a ton of passion. If you know a little bit about him, he was passionate about everything, good and bad. And when he went a direction, he went there 100%. Now, that's not good all the time because it gets you in a lot of jams. You can get jammed up like that. But that's something that kings got to consider in life. It's something that I had to consider every day because I have that mentality. When I'm on something, I'm going for it 100%. If you screw me over, I'm coming after you 100%. If you treat me good, I'm going to treat you good 100%, 110%. And that's how I am. So I try to learn as a king that everybody's not worth addressing, even when they come at your head. All right, man, kings, understand that. Especially in this world of the Me Too movement, you have to definitely be careful with how you move because you can land up in something and you're trying to redeem your name. You're trying to cover yourself. Now, if you ain't done nothing, I'm sorry you had to go through the situation, but, you know, hey, if Jesus went through it, we got to. we have to go through it as well. Now, for some of y'all, you may not have ever done anything or was, innocent, really. I understand that as well. Now, some of y'all that's guilty as charged and you got to do your time. But after you do your time and you ask for forgiveness and things turn around, guess what you do in that moment? You rise back up. And other men, other kings are going to help you rise up. Help you rise up, not keep beating you down. Now, there are certain situations that, only Jesus probably going to forgive you and let you in. Like you mess with kids or harming people, raping individuals, killing a bunch of people, mass murdering, doing all these things in the name of not what I believe in, then I don't know. It's hard for me, man. I'm just like everybody else. I'm human. It's hard for kings to forgive that. So sometimes you have to say off with the head. It might be physically, it might be spiritually. It might, that's when I say physically, you might just have to disassociate yourself. Kings have to surround themselves with royalty as well, because royalty understands the things that the king goes through, understands some of the things. But as a man, it's hard out here because not all people can understand. So you surround yourself with other men that have went through something. You surround yourself with women who can help you get through something. You surround yourself with those people who are royal as well. I think that's why so many people love the movie Black Panther, man, and Wakanda and what it stood for, because it showed strength and unity. And it showed even when trouble strikes, we can still stand together. When trouble strikes and T'Challa had to disappear and go away for a while, there was still somebody who he thought was his enemy that supported him. So you have to look out for those people. Some people you think your enemy don't want to see you in that position. They do, but they want to make sure that you deserve to be in that position. And as a king, we got to understand that. What do you deserve? What have you earned? What have you earned? Well, the only thing you earned in this life is respect and equality. And respect and equality means that I respect you as a human being first, and I'm going to treat you as such. In friendship, kinship, with any type of relationship, that's good. But you have to earn that. Earn it, you get my respect. Now, I already respect you as a human being because I know life is hard. I put a meme out the other day that said life is heavy. When I see men out there making it happen, you walk by them, you be like, I work at the airport, you be like, you don't have to say nothing. You just see him like, yeah, he doing this thing. He got his family like power, baby. That's what it's about, power. And from a king's eye view, we look at power not in the sense of running over people. We look at power in the sense of, if I have this in my hand, if I have this money, if I have this knowledge, if I have this good family, if I have a holiday and I'm able to reach out and help somebody, I'm going to do that. See, power, we extend it out so someone else can have the power. And if they can handle their power, and you have sons, or you have nephews, or you have homies who are younger than you, or you have mentees, and you have them their power, you see what they do with it. Can you handle it? And if they can handle it, all right, Prince, young Prince, you ready? And then after they go through life a little bit, all right, you ready to be a king? Go ahead, boom, hit them with that sword. I know that's knighting, but kings too. Because you're all born with the king inside of you. You're all born with that promise, but it's what you do with it. You got to be kings in your community. If you see your community down, you got to lift it up. Figure out a better way to help that community rise up. If you're going to be a king at a job, do those things that keep your integrity, keep you honest, and also be courageous when you're working from a king's eye view. When you rise above that, and some of y'all may become billionaires one day, what do you do with that money? Because now you're able to affect the United States and the rest of the world. Because that's what kings should be doing all the time. That's what King's Eye View is all about. So if you can check out a lot of this on www.fortheonemedia.com. fortheonemedia.com. Check it out, man. My boy on there writing some marvelous pieces, man, just about the King's Eye View and just the views that we have. It's important. I might write on there a little bit, but I write on different pages. But it's all about what you want to hear from a king. Because I know people out there, men and women, are looking for kings, somebody to look to. It's hard for men. It's hard for me. You look for that mentor, or you try to, everybody like, oh, I got a mentor. For a long time, I didn't have one. I didn't know how to go. I thought having a mentor was weak, but I understand and helped me to become a king. I do have to have somebody to look to that's trying to do things the same way as me. or have done things better than me, and I'm trying to get to where they are. It's hard, but it's worth it. And you have to humble yourself. That's one thing I had to do. I had to have humility and seek those people who are doing the things. They right in front of you a lot of times. They're doing the things that you want to do or the things that you're trying to achieve. That's one reason why I stopped what I was doing in life and started going to school, because I was seeking knowledge. And in that knowledge that I was seeking, it was only to, yes, I want to better myself, better my circumstance, better my career, everything like that. But it's so I can help take that and share it. Because some of those people around you, kings, may not be able to, they cannot afford to go to school right now. They can't afford to be in your situation. So you got to afford them the opportunity to learn from you if they're willing to. That's a part of being a king. Part of being a king is not just sitting up there holding all your gold and everything, keeping it to yourself for a bad and rainy day. Now, saving is a part of being a king. Finances are a part of being a king. You have to do those things so you can have an everlasting kingdom. You have a great legacy that outlasts you, that outlasts the material things. What are you passing on spiritually to the people next, to the next generation of men, to the young ladies who you talk to, and you make sure that they understand what it is to be a woman the best you can. But, you just show them what a man looks like. And they're like, well, I can't accept anything less. When the kids grow up, they say, I can't accept anything less. The boys that turn to men and be like, my dad did this. He worked hard. He was honest. In my lifetime, he was pretty faithful. You know what I'm saying? He did all that he could do. He was pretty honest. He made his mistakes. He admitted his mistakes. He let us see. So I can't accept anything less from myself. That's what the men say. That's what the young boys say as they become men. Then the young ladies was like, they meet young men and they're going to meet some terrible ones in their lifetime. They be like, I can't accept this because I seen my dad do more. I seen my dad be more. I'm looking for a king because I'm a queen, and I want us to be able to come together in unity, working together to accomplish a better kingdom on earth. That's what the king has to do from a clear eye view. When the king you only become a king through experience and gaining wisdom. Like I said, warriors just don't, oh, you're a warrior now. No, you got to go through the bush. You got to go through the issues. You got to go through the problems. You got to, have people trying to stab you in your back. It's the only difference between me and Julius Caesar. The only difference between other kings and Julius Caesar is he got betrayed. And people are going to try to betray you. Jesus got betrayed. So don't be afraid of that. The only difference is we're not going to die because what we believe. And some of us may die, but it may not be die in the physical form. It might just have to die and kill things in the spirit that you might have been manifesting in the wrong way. Things you thought you were doing right, man. You get stabbed in the back and make you recalibrate and rethink those situations. Because man, I don't have time for this. I'm a king. I got to do better. And that's what we have to do as men. Be better. Do better. As this lady told me, we got healthy masculine, but right now, the unhealthy masculine are running the world. And I believe that. So we got to get the healthy masculine, the mentally strong, physically strong, able to get the job done. Now, I'll admit physically strong, I always have to be, I lift ton of weights, but physically can you endure the race, king? Do you have the endurance to do this? Do you have the mind to do this? Do you have the mind to help change the world? That's what it is that's what it is to live from the king's eye view. And then your trials and tribulations that you struggle with, you express those. When I'm going through something, I express it. And I let people know. When I'm trying to achieve something, I express it. I let people know. But I want people to hold me accountable at all times, because I know what kings do when they know they have power and they don't do the right things all the time. Because I can get away with it because I'm a king. That's how a lot of men feel. A lot of CEOs have done. And then they end up doing perverse things that ruin their kingdom and their legacy. And some of them bounce back, some of us don't. That's just what it is. So from a king, you have to walk meticulously through life. As a king, you have to be patient about things. As a king, you got to be willing and able and ready at all times for war. And when you're not at war, you should be loving. And love supersedes all things. And the reason why we should love all the time is because that's what life is. We love when we're at war. We love when we're at peace. But we love, period, to bring peace. And sometimes that causes us to go to war for the things that you care about. Your kids going to go through something one day. Some of them may be addicted on drugs, God forbid. Some of them may be addicted to other things. Some people may struggle. Your kids may struggle to go to school. Your wife may not be what you thought she should be. But it's about the king standing in there and hanging on and having resolve not to quit and not to give up. Remember those vows that you sold through thick and thin. Remember all of that. Because one thing that's promised in life is death. Some people say taxes, but if you're a 100% disabled veteran, you ain't got to worry about the taxes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there, so I don't know. But for those, so one thing that's promised in life is death. So when you're going through something, when you're struggling, what do you do? What do you do? When both of you struggling, your queen, the king struggling, who do you reach for? How do you help? Well, hopefully you help and reach into those people's lives that, you were there for them, and hopefully they be there for you. And sometimes you got to express what's going on. Not everything. Now, some things you do have to keep to yourself because some people are just waiting to ruin life. And sometimes that's your friends. So you got to be mindful and have great discernment. And if you don't have great discernment, surround yourself with people who can see better than you and that you understand that they have your best interests at heart. Sometimes it's family, other times it's friends, sometimes it's somebody you don't even know, but they can recognize something in you or see a situation around you and they speak to it. So you receive it, you digest it, and you take it as you need it. That's life. That's how kings have to look at things. Kings have to realize their place. There are times that we back down and have humility, but most times you got to stand up. We need mountains. We need mountains. We need more mountains. We don't need molehills. We don't need ant hills. We don't need ant mounds. We need mountains standing out here. When you go to Colorado and you go to the Blue Ridge Mountain, you go to the Smoky Mountains, one thing you recognize above the clouds is a mountain that stands. Above the mess, a mountain stands, and around them is beauty. It's majestic because in that mountain, it's there to say that I am here. And then in that, it's like, boy, it's so beautiful because you believe what I believe in, man. If God create that's standing still, don't have a voice, don't have a soul, but it draws my soul to it because I see the majestic way it sits out there. I see the beauty in it. And then I look at myself. I'm created with hands and a mouth and ears and a mind to think and to do. So I say, I got to have something more in life. I'm here for a reason. So for those out there who live in haphazardly, who are struggling to find their identity, hopefully you can find your identity in this. I know I spoke to men, but ladies, it's an identity for you as well. Help lift those men up. Now, I didn't say take care of them. Let them lay on your couch for months. I'm going to get a job one day, and you wake up and you going to work, and then you see this man on the couch. You see this ninja on the couch, sleep, and you up. Real men rise up early and get the job done, unless you work nights. But real men get up early and make things happen. Even before the cock crows, even before the rooster crows, the man got to be up ready to do. Because, when you're a man and you're trying to achieve things, you don't, honestly, people, that's why sleep is so important. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to rest when you know you got purpose in you and you know you're driven and you're drawn to do something. You like, I can't sit still. I can't just sit on this. So you move on to the next thing and study. Now celebrate those moments of success. Celebrate every single day. Like my homies say, find a reason to celebrate. Find a reason to celebrate every day. Find that good thing in that bad day for you because it's going to help you. It's going to help you to be strong. Hey, guys, make sure y'all remember that, hey, this is the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. It's brought to you by For the One Media. And coming up, I'm going to give y'all a few pointers that you need to help you live in that kingship, to be the king that you hope to be. And there's nothing wrong with being a prince right now. I know princes are eager to jump in. Man, I'm always eager to get to that next step. But in some areas of life, I'm a king. In other areas in life, I'm still a prince because I'm in those steps of trying to reach where I'm trying to reach. And I understand that. I dig it. I know what I want. I know what I'm capable of, but I know it may not be time for me yet. And that's what I have to say to y'all. It may not be time for you yet in that one thing. But as kings, you do have to remain patient to understand that your time is coming. So knowing that your time is coming, be prepared. Just like you know death is coming, so prepare yourself, your family, and everybody around you. Prepare those things because it is coming. Death is promised. But what you can do right now is change those things. Well, you can't change death now, but you can change those situations that seem like you just can't get out. Because if you stick around long enough, you can get out. Things can change. Life can be better. All right, so 2 things for me. 2 things you have to do in life. Number 1 is you have to be willing to admit that you don't have all the answers. As a leader, you got to be willing to understand that you need to have other leaders around you who can help give you those answers. People ask me all the time, man, how do you lead, man? It seems like things just don't ever seem to, you don't have problems. I have all kind of problems. I have things going on just like everybody else. And I don't have all the answers. So when people look at me and say, man, you're successful in how you handle things, I'm successful because of how I ask the question to those people around me. So number 2, I know I said number 1, but this is number 2 because we're going to go up. That's the only way we're going to go is up. Number 2, ask the questions. Ask those people around you. Don't be ashamed. I know people say, there's nothing, I can't remember, but they always say things, what they say about questions. The only dumb question is not to ask one. That is true. I believe that. People around me know I'm going to ask questions. So as a king, you got to ask those questions. You got to build that cabinet so you can ask those questions. People that you trust their opinion and what they have to say. So it's very important for the king to ask the right questions to the right people because you got to surround yourself with the right people so you can accomplish the right things. Questions are very important. See, questions help filter people out. People that are really there to support you. You understand people that are really there to just be there in that moment. You understand that people don't need to be there. You understand that this person cares more about you than you even care about yourself. They tied to your destiny closer than you may even be tied to it because they have to see you go that way. They help you get the energy you need to keep going, to stay on the throne because they understand that you benefit them too being on the throne because you make the world better. And men recognize men for that. Some of my friends in the areas that they do things in, I know that they are better for that position than I would ever be. So I'm going to support them the best that I can to help them achieve and to stay on a level of success. And that is having a family. You see a man, you see your boys, they have great families. You keep them propped up in that way. One thing I always admired about my friends is that their relationships, they kept them strong. Even in trouble, even in tragedy, they figured it out. Now, things don't go right all the time, but they hang in there. See, and when you're doing right, your wife, your lady, your family, your kids, your friends, your associates, your co-workers, your people that work for you, that you employ, they stick in there because they understand that Mr. does this. And he lives right. Honestly, he's been honest with us. He let us know what's going on. You understand that this company could be lost in this moment because it's just a different time in life where change happens, but we're going to stick with them regardless. That's what happens when you got true kings. That's what you happen when you have great leaders. People going to stick in there with you even when it's hard. People going to hang with you in the beginning when you don't have nothing, when no one want to hear what I'm saying or what you are saying. But they say, I'm going to listen to it regardless because I support what you believe. And they're not just supporting you for the sake of supporting you. They supporting you because they understand the why you're doing it, the reason why you stand there. They understand that you have promise in them and you understand that they have promise in themselves too. And so you help them get there. And one way to get there is with number 2, asking the right questions, aligning yourself with the right people. See, asking the right questions will help you align yourself with the right people. And then in asking the right questions, you see where they stand, they see where you stand, and y'all can both hold each other accountable. So that's number 1. Number 2, Number 1, in all that you do, don't ever give up. Remain consistent. As kings, we know that there's things above number 1. For me, Christ. We know there's things that are above number 1. That means your family. There are things above number 1 on this list. But as kings, to sustain the kingdom, you have to be willing to be honest. You have to be willing to be consistent. You have to be willing to work hard and be a warrior and show love and show wisdom and mentor others and understand when to step back and understand when to, hey, look. The king gonna step out for a second. Let the prince step up and do a little bit. All right, son, I'm done cutting this grass for the week. You're gonna cut the grass next week. And you watch him from the king's eye view. to make sure that they don't hurt themselves. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Protect the people all around you. And you watching them, make sure that they don't hurt themselves. Sometimes you can let them because they can learn. Other times you have to be like, wait a minute, because that could kill them. Stop. That's what we're supposed to do. Guardians of the earth, man. Keepers of the earth, man. Protectors of our people, man. Protectors of our villages, the communities, and families. If we're not doing that, you're not ready to be a man, but it's okay. You're not ready to be a king, but it's cool. We can get you there if you want to be there. Because the only requirement to be a king is to be willing to do the work, willing to be selfless. I know other people don't believe in the selfless pursuit of helping other people for the sake of themselves, but I know that I have to be that way because that's what my Christ requires of me. Now, I'm not going to do things detrimental to myself. That's silly. I can't do things detrimental to my health. Now, if it means losing my life for the sake for my kids to live, or losing my life in a situation where it's a cause of losing my life, newsflash. If it's time for you to go, you're going to go. All right? Unless you're committing suicide, and that's your own timeline. And even in that, you might not get that right. That's why that's one of the reasons why I don't believe in suicide anyway. Because what if you do it and it don't work? Now you're maimed. It ain't worth it. I remember seeing a guy that blew his whole face off and now he's telling stories about Jesus because he survived. He's like, life is real. Yeah, but your face missing. You know? But anyway, I don't want to get off on that tangent, but kings, stand up. Stop allowing the world to take away from what you are. Fight back. Be masculine. Masculine people are needed. Masculinity must exist because it's what keeps order in this world. You see it's out of order right now? It's because men haven't stepped up. Masculinity is needed because without it, we have a lawless people. Now, in your masculinity, you don't abuse other people for the sake of being masculine. Because remember, you have to protect. If you ain't willing to protect, then what is the point of being masculine? You know, just like you have feminine things, you got to be masculine about it. For the men that I know, they're all masculine because we're going to do the things that are right. We're going to tell the truth even in the face of darkness. Even in the face of, man, I know I'm going to be crucified for this, but I'm going to still do it anyway because that's what standing is for. That's one thing I liked about Mario Lopez when he took his stance about gender and everything. But then I hated it too because he backed off. For what? To keep a job? Man, if you believe in Christ, you believe in all that, you stand up regardless. So I appreciate the beginning, but as a king, you got to go through it. There are going to be times of famine that are uncontrollable. So you have to make sure you store it up and you've done a thing to prepare your people for that tough time. That's part of life. But life is grand, life is good, but life is heavy. So I just want to say that to my king. That's the king I view coming right from Demerious Nelson's mouth, straight from the mouth. And I got more of that, man. Y'all want to see it, check it out. Check it out on forthe1media.com. Look, 41 Media is always willing and ready to grow the show, grow the business, grow the company. So if you want to be a part of it, if you have something you want to say, you want to be interviewed by the Red Tape Podcast, you want to contribute, be a contributor to the website, and you believe what I believe, you believe what the company believes, then we can use you because we got people out there right now. I have producers ready to go record your shows. If you want to do a podcast, if you have something you want to write, they'll help you with that. Whatever you're working on, we're willing to help, man. Because that's what it's about. It's about building a community at 41 Media. We're going to move progressively forward because you got to go forward with progress, but you got to do it with patience. Be conservative in how you move, how you go about doing those things that you do when you do them, all right? All right, guys, hey, this has been fun. Hey, I hope you understand the King's Eye view, just for a little bit of perspective. We got way more to tell you later on, but in order to get that, you got to subscribe. You got to like it, you got to share it, because there's plenty of episodes that people are getting that you're not getting because you're not a subscriber to 41 Media, not a subscriber to the Red Tape Podcast. You haven't checked out the King's Eye View, the Clear Eye View, and all those great things, man. Counteracts, all those, man, great sites, man, that's with 41 Media. All right, guys. Hey, this is Demerious Nelson. As always, it's the Red Tape Podcast, man. Y'all keep living life, keep loving life, and If you're out there and a man, know that you're a king, okay? Don't let anybody tell you anything any different. Peace.